Great, Instaya. I'm Kellic.
Sika.
Oma.
Shreya.
Flynn.
And I'm your DM, Ethan. Welcome to Venture Forth. Previously, you all had fled from the city of Solaris with a new companion in tow by the name of Seeker. This new companion who mysteriously came to you guys through the contact of Thaddeus told you that he could supply you with the necessary ingredients to have these magical items that could erase all magical or non-magical tracking that was on you by the Hollow Guard. He also knew a way out of the city, which you guys were desperately in need of, and through some tunnels underneath the city and combat with some of these underground burrowing worms, you guys eventually made it out of Solaris and onto the open road. You guys grabbed a couple horses, with Seeker being sure to pay or leave behind some gold for the farmer whose horses they were, and you guys headed off towards the mountains. When you guys got to the base of the mountains, after a little bit of a brief detour, you guys eventually made your way up into the mountain itself through the foresty evergreen area, and after hiking for a little while on horseback, you guys were able to spot, or I should say Shreya was able to spot a abnormal tree off in the distance, a tree that wasn't like any of the other trees, a lot bigger, and didn't seem to be sort of the pine and evergreen type that was surrounding you. After a little bit more investigation and heading towards it, you guys discovered a couple of dead bodies, some of them on the inside of this tree and some of them on the outside. It seemed that this tree was carved out hollow and made into a home or some sort of a temple to Ylduria, with the main tree on the outside being hollowed out and then a new, much younger tree growing within it. Kellic went around and began to cleanse some of the bodies and burn them into ash, and with that seemingly releasing some spirits from them. You guys found a little green teapot, and you guys were just sort of looking around and investigating this tree. So, I believe Seeker and Flynn were looking at this little magical teapot, and everyone else was going around investigating the bodies. So, as we start this session, what would you guys like to do?
This is an interesting teapot. Do you mind if I put it in my bag and we can figure out what it does later?
Well, yeah, I want to take a look at it, but there's a lot of stuff around here that we probably should be worried about.
I agree.
Don't let me forget, though, because I sometimes forget things, and that looks really cool, but if you put it in your bag, I might forget to look at it, so remind me.
Don't worry, it's magic. I will not forget.
Okay, cool.
I still want to talk about your sword.
Shreya and I were looking at this body, right, that hadn't been yet consumed by the earth.
Yeah, so just to give you guys a reminder, there were 5 bodies in this room. One of them was impaled to the wall by a spear, and they had been consumed by these vines. One of them was laying face down with a sword in their back, also being consumed by vines. And then one of them was sort of laying there in a hunched and kneeling position with arrows coming out of them, also being consumed by vines. Kellic, you had sort of like disintegrated, for lack of a better term, the 2 bodies that seemed to have been blasted through with some sort of magical force.
And for just a reminder that Oma and Flynn have dark vision right now, because I cast Eyes of Night.
Thanks for the reminder.
I'm going to kneel down and look more deeply at these vines as I squint my eyes, run some of my fingers over the vines, cast my mind back to think if I've ever known this kind of vine, or if it's magical, or if I can tell that it had been like cast as a spell or something.
Yeah, make an Arcana check for me.
It's not bad. 17.
17. This is like natural Arcana. Like you can sort of see the growth of the vines. That is like the vines aren't growing everywhere. They're just sort of encasing these bodies. This is probably like the work of some natural force trying to take these bodies back.
Do all the bodies seem to have the same symbols, or if I look at all of the bodies, do they seem to be from the same ilk?
Yeah, looking at them, they've all got like these deep, like earth brown tone robes from what you can see. And then you could tell before Kalik disposed of the other two bodies that they were wearing the same thing.
What do you make of these, Shreya?
They seem to be just the earth taking her course, albeit perhaps linked to some kind of energy that pervades the land here.
Well, she won't relinquish the soul.
Holding out for some reason. This makes me think that whatever force we are beginning to encounter on our way to our destination, I hope the guardians of this place will give us safe passage.
As the ashes start to flicker away from my eyes, and my eyes to the grave come to rest, I turn to Shreya and say, if what I've seen above us is accurate, there's undeath all about this place. And I don't think we'll get through here safely, Shreya.
Kalik, what should we be looking for from undeath? I just don't know what we're supposed to be keeping our eyes out for. If you could help me.
I cast my eyes up above us. Is there... what's the architecture like here, DM? Is it stairs?
Yeah.
Or...
So, yeah, it's a spiral staircase going along the inside of this hollowed out tree.
I don't know what manner of undeath, Alma, but just something... Are you familiar with things returning from the other side?
No, not really.
Well, you remember when we toured the tomb of the Red Wolf, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, sometimes things that are killed by what one might call normal means.
Oh, like Corvin Amberstone?
Right. Corvin Amberstone is likely an exact case of undeath.
Do you think he's here?
I certainly hope not. But we can't rule it out. Sometimes certain forces outside of our domain keep the spirits of the dead from reaching their appropriate state, their natural conclusion. Their could be all manner of things.
So, is it safe to say that we don't have to worry about the ones if they have vines on them?
Well, it depends. Seeker, is there cases out here in Kaldor that you know of that, this certainly can't be an isolated incident of worshippers of the new gods slaughtering worshippers of the old ones? Those are pretty extraordinary circumstances that might lend themselves well to curses, undeath, perhaps the old gods keeping their servants alive to wreak havoc on those that did them wrong. Do you know anything of this?
Walking over to check it out. Well, that is what happened here. They were First hiding and then exterminating. Would I know anything more, if I may, like from a religious standpoint or a historical standpoint?
Yeah, you can either make religion or a history check.
Yahtzee. That's a natty 20.
Hey,
Plus
nice.
5, so let's get that 25 on it.
Let's go.
Nice.
I
Yeah, so you would know specifically that there have been like a lot of cases across Kaldur of like aggressively pushing out worshippers of the old gods, but it's never it's almost never come to bloodshed on this scale. You know that there were 5 cases across Kaldur where things escalated to this sort of point where Kaldur determined that extermination was necessary. And this is one of those 5 sites that was carried out like that.
Do you mind if I try more aggressive means of freeing this spirit?
I want nothing more than for it to properly arrest it.
But I don't understand. I thought that Kaldur just wanted freedom to pray to the new gods. Why are they killing people who pray to the old gods? I thought this whole fight was just so that they could have freedom. It doesn't really sound like
Alma,
like freedom if they're killing other people who also just want to pray to their own gods.
They might not be a monolith, Alma. But some I've spoken to see themselves as liberators. So, by some strange stretch of their minds, they might think of these actions, and I gesture to the corpses, as necessary to free the minds of the old ways.
Necessary or even noble, from what I've begun to know about them.
What do they get out of it?
Change.
They were already hiding in a tree to worship.
Change does not come easy, Alma.
And Seeker he's kind of sighing as you're asking those questions and starts to hold his hands over the corpse that's held in the vines. And he's muttering and he says, Ay, Maria. And a purplish flame will come up around the attempt to come up and consume. It's a sacred flame cantrip. Let's see if it can have any effect.
Okay. So you cast a sacred flame, and as this purple fire is beginning to work its way over the body, Kalik, you notice that his spell worked on this body. And it sort of just like glides itself over the body, and as it's moving over it, it doesn't actually burn the body as you would expect it to do. But as the fire moves across it, it produces these tiny little purple sprouts that then burst into tiny purple flowers as the fire moves across it and finishes going from the head to the feet. And when the fire finishes making its way over the body is still there, but now covered in purple flowers.
I look up at Seeker. My eyes red with like burgeoning tears. They're wrestling over our souls. While we take each other's lives in their names. They don't care if we squabble down here and bleed for them. They just want our last breaths. Our remnants.
Well, maybe not. Maybe Ylduria was just trying to keep the body safe. So that no further...
What, Alma?
Well, maybe the people who killed him tried to keep him in everlasting life. And Ylduria was just trying to welcome him back home?
I know sanctuaries and shrines to Ylduria. This place has been cursed, but hopefully not irrevocably corrupted.
And as you say that, and you all look to Shreya as he is speaking to you, a ghostly white figure apparates from the ground behind him and over his shoulder. And Shreya, you feel a chill go down your spine as you look behind you. I'm going to have everyone roll initiative. All right.
My initiative rolls are consistently dog shit.
Hey, at least it's consistent, though. You know.
Can I count it?
You
if
know?
it fell
Yeah, it's true.
On the
It's true.
floor, or should I roll again?
I'll say yes.
Yes.
I'll say yes.
All right, that.
I feel like it's dealer's choice. Like,
Oh, yeah.
if you, as long as you agree to that, wow, it's rolling.
Okay.
I usually wait till a 20 comes up, and then I.
And then I'll
There
agree
we
to
go.
it.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you should mention that. Mine is 23.
Of course.
Okay. Olma, what is your initiative?
17.
Kellic,
6.
Flynn,
9.
and Seeker.
18.
18. Nice. Okay, so as this ghostly white figure appears from the ground behind Shreya, let's have Shreya. You get the first in combat. What would you like to do?
So this figure is like actually touching me, like in proximity to my figure.
It is hovering over your shoulder,
Over
just
your shoulder.
like almost right on top of you. Yeah.
All right. I am going to whirl around. I'm going to instinctively, I can feel it, press my fingers to my staff, and then say,
Spent all this time. Now the corruption is upon us.
I'm going to whirl around, and I'm going to attempt to.
Let's see how it responds to this.
Instantaneously, purple light explodes out the top of the crystal, and I'm just gonna like immediately bring it like into the center of this mass, like whirling it down, clocking the crystal right into the middle of it.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
It's a 16 to hit.
A 16 hits.
Nice.
Yeah, roll
Oh,
your
wow.
damage.
Get him.
Okay. Let's see then. All right, so that's 8. Okay. Minimal damage on the dice roll, but that's 6 points of arcane.
6 points of specifically what kind of arcane damage is that?
Arcane, because I basically charged up the staff. So it would normally be bludgeoning, but because I charged it up and it's magical.
Oh, it's magical bludgeoning. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Is that the end of your turn?
Since I am directly engaged with it, I am going to grit my beak, look at it through, like, more squinted eyes, and I'm gonna, in one fluid motion, like, whoosh myself back with my wings from it as far as I can. So I'll let you rule
Okay.
how much far that is.
Yeah. You can go as far as you want. It is going to take an attack of opportunity, though,
Okay, that's fine.
as it swipes at you. So as you try and walk away, it's going to just very slowly hover its hand up in the air and reach 2 fingers out and try and touch you. That is going to be a 14 to hit.
What is that? I remember that. Yeah, you met it. That's it. That's
Oh,
yeah, that
no.
does hit.
Do you,
Yeah.
do you have the shield?
That's not what we wanted. That's not
Or
what we
no?
wanted.
Do you not use?
I gave it back. I gave it to someone else, I think.
Oh, okay.
I don't have the shield.
So as its arm reaches up, you spread your wings, and as you are pushing them back together to get some distance from this thing, its arm just barely reaches out and touches your wing. That is going to be 10 points of necrotic damage.
Oh,
It's a lot.
Something I feel like is growing inside me, but also dying.
All right. Next up on the initiative is Olma.
Does this creature look like you said it's white, a white figure. Does it appear male or female? Does it look like it's wearing robes that are similar to the robes that are on the ground?
You cannot determine male or female, but you can see just sort of towards the end of where these like ethereal wisps come out from it. You can just barely see some robes, looking to be very similar to what you had seen on the other bodies.
Okay, and how many bodies are left that aren't decayed in this room?
There are 3 that are covered in vines. And then, and Kalik, when you walked into this area, you had only determined 2 other undead presences.
Okay. Great. I will look at Shreya and see that the spectre creature is hurting him in some way, but not visibly hurting him. And I will rub my hands together and concentrate on my fingers, and then pull my fingers away from each other. And a sea of shadows will start to converge in the space between my hands as I slowly open them and open them and open them until I have reached about 2 feet wide for my hands, and the swirling smoke will become a solidified object and a sword, and I will throw it. Well, how far away am I from the thing? Actually,
you're about 10 feet away.
10 feet? Great. I am going to move 10 more feet backwards from it,
Okay.
further away,
Okay.
and then launch the spectral blade at this thing.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Get it.
Oh no!
No.
Oh no! That's a 10 to hit.
A 10 does not hit.
Nope.
Nope.
I will move another 10 feet back.
Okay.
So that I am 30 feet from this thing and crouch behind anything that I see. I think it's only a 20-foot. Actually, I think it's only a 20-foot tree, is what you said. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a 20-foot circle.
Yeah.
So just as far back against the wall
yeah,
You
yeah,
could crouch
as I
behind
can.
one of the
Okay.
bodies.
Nope. Just gonna go against one of the walls. And that's my turn.
Okay. Next up, Seeker.
So I'm gonna attack it with this sacred flame, and
Okay.
that is what is it? That is a 12 to hit.
A 12 hits.
Oh. Nice.
Wow. Okay. Good to know.
And we're gonna do this damage. Ooh, that's a 6 plus 2. That's 8.
As you cast Sacred Flame and the flames rush over this ghost's body, it screeches, and it seems to be in a lot of pain from that. It sort of recoils, and you can see its form diminish very slightly before it vanishes back into the ground.
What?
And you guys all wait a second, and another second, as it floats up from the ground right behind Kalik. And Kalik, it is going to try and reach out and touch you in a very similar way that it reached out and touched Shreya. That is going to be an 11 to hit.
Does not hit.
That does not hit.
Nice.
So it reaches out for you, and you can feel the cold coming right over your shoulder, and you just duck out of the way in time. Next up, Flynn.
Yeah. So I'm gonna run up to this thing, obviously, and I'm gonna run up. And as I'm running, I use my bonus action to just put the sword in my hand, And I use my fingers to tap the sword. 1, 2, 3, and you see that energy pulse on my sword as I cast Booming Blade. But it's pulsing with more fervor and energy. And I'm gonna try and hit this thing.
Okay, make an attack roll.
And that would be this. 17.
A 17 hits,
Nice.
yeah, for sure.
Okay. So as I strike down, some of the energy actually is expended and does a little more booming damage at the start. So that's this. What does it do? A D8. Okay. So that is 17 points. Or do you want it separate?
No, it can be
it's all
together
17
for this, yeah.
total. 17 points of damage.
Ooh.
And you see that energy wherever I struck the creature. It's like pulsing as it's like encased in that cut. And I'm gonna look up at it and grin and look at Kellic. Don't worry, I'm here.
All right, and with that, Kellic, you are up in the initiative.
Having just escaped this thing's cool grasp, I'm going to break from its attack range and try and move to the other side of the wall. Not the other side of the wall, but the other side of the room. So I'll take an attack of opportunity, I assume.
Okay, yes, you will. Ooh, that is going to be a 9 to hit.
Okay, sick.
Nice.
I will just skirt away from its attack.
Reaches out. Its arm seems to be like almost as if a person was moving through water, sort of that speed, and you're able to just duck out of the way before it makes contact with you.
And I'll back off 10 feet.
Okay.
And then I'll glower at this thing. The earth or the ashes, go where you wish, but you'll defile this place no longer. Eoru! And I'll throw a gang-ding bolt at it.
Okay.
Hey.
And that is 24 to hit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, that is 11 points of radiant damage.
Woo.
Okay, and as you hit this thing dead center right in the chest, your guiding bolt almost goes through it, and as if you were shooting your guiding bolt just at fog, it dissipates and doesn't form back into space, and you hear as this thing completely expands into the air around it. And it is now dead, and we are out of initiative.
Where'd it go?
And I gave it a choice, so I don't know where, but
May not want to stay here too long.
I'm gonna call the sword back to me and hold it for a minute.
Okay.
Oh, hey, that's cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm gonna Jado Oculos and cast Eyes of the Grave again.
Okay.
Drawing ashes across my eyes. Is there still a shape above us of undeath?
There is one above you, yes.
If we stay here longer, we'll certainly meet another. But I have to admit, I feel inclined to cleanse this place.
I feel the same way.
Notably, the one above you is not moving.
The waters that we need to find are that way, right? And I point outside of the door and up to the up the mountain.
Yes. From my looking through the land, this place does not offer a path there.
Okay. So Kellic, you wanna keep going up?
Yes. If you'll indulge me on this.
I mean, I made some really bad choices lately, so yeah, I guess what's the worst that could happen?
Well, we can all
Anyone
die.
who is not inclined to do this, I feel like you and I kind of nod at Kellic. I feel like we could take these intruders ourselves.
Oh.
Oh, I'll be going too.
Maybe I'll just
Fantastic.
stay behind you and help if I can, but I wasn't much help down here, so I don't know.
Alma, you've got lots of power. And this is a good application of it.
Yeah, but sometimes I miss.
That's okay, Alma. It's about what you mean to do.
I forgot to roll Chaos Bolt Magic.
Yeah,
And
you're
I
looking
just
to
did.
Roll above an 8.
I got an 18.
Oh man.
Nice.
Sorry.
I'll begin to climb the stairs if everybody seems like they're in agreement with this choice.
Yeah.
Seeker will follow. How long has it been since I cast Detect Magic and got the teapot? Has it been over or under 10 minutes? Would that still be up?
It would still be up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you would be coming to the last, I'd say, 2 minutes or so.
Is that the same for the protection from good and evil?
Yeah, I was doing it while he ritual cast.
Okay, so it's probably on
so-
its last leg too.
Probably on its
Okay.
And yeah, so Seeker, you get a strong ping from up further in the tree. Just a single magical essence.
Lego.
I'm getting something up here too. We should go check it.
As I follow them up the stairs, I look over at Olma, like back over my shoulder, and I say,
And so, I'm prepared this time. What is it I do? Close my eyes.
breathe in, and as I plant the staff on the ground where the crystal used to be, I've now produced a glowing ball of flame.
Yeah.
And Seeker would real quick just he would just say out loud and just kind of send a message to Eldra and say, "Stay in the tree and please watch the door. Let us know if anyone comes."
Eldra has not seen anyone approaching or anything unusual yet, just so you know. Okay, so you guys head up these winding stairs that you can see are like built into the inside of the outer wall of this tree. And as you guys are moving up this staircase, you can see that there is a platform up at the top. And you guys are moving, and you see windows carved into this tree trunk that let you see out further into the forest as you're climbing up this staircase. And Kalik, you see it first as you're sort of rounding this bend, and you see a body laying there, lifeless on the ground. You can see that in sort of a similar fashion, but not to the most extreme degree that you saw with the other bodies, most of this body is burned. And it has like these chars all over it, and not at all being consumed by vines. And about 10 feet up the stairs, right next to one of the windows, light is pouring in from outside. And so you can barely see this ghostly specter standing there, looking out the window and just standing still.
What kind of form is it taking? Is it, does it look like the bodies that have been around the room in the same rows?
Yeah. I'm going to have you make a perception check.
Okay.
Because it's kind of difficult to see the form of this as the light is
How
passing
far away
through
is this again?
It's about 20 feet away from where you guys
Okay.
are at.
That is...
And you've got a body right in between
Mhm.
you guys.
25 on the perception.
Wow.
The 25. You see very clearly Elven, both the ghost and the body on the floor. And you would also see hanging around the neck of the body is a blue. It's like a blue. It looks like a blue painted piece of maybe wood or some sort of carving. And as you look to the ghost, you can see a ghostly outline of the same sort of necklace around their neck.
A wooden carving?
Some sort of carving that has been painted blue. You can't really determine what it is from there. Seeker, the necklace, the painted carving around their neck is what is giving off the magical essence that you felt.
What Seeker will do is actually try and like very sneakily, very stealthily, use his invisible mage hand to see if he can remove the necklace from the body.
Okay. Make a sleight of hand check.
Kellic?
Yes, Alma.
Can you talk to ghosts? Maybe he could tell us what happened here.
14.
Olma and Kellic, as you guys are having this discussion, you all don't even notice, but look back at the body after a couple seconds and the necklace is gone. Secret is now in your possession.
How is the spirit?
And-
Is the spirit unchanged?
The spirit seems unchanged.
And he wouldn't necessarily try and hide so he was just trying to do it like without disturbing the body and doing it without like giving away that it's him necessarily, but he would just kind of have his mage hand hold it up in front of the group so we could inspect it.
Okay. So the rest of you guys notice it, but the ghost in the window does not seem to notice.
What is this necklace? Sorry.
Yeah, do we recognize them?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have one person make, or two people make a nature check.
Let's figure this out together, bud.
Let's do it.
Hey, let's go.
Hey, that's an 11 for Kelly.
I got a strong 10.
Strong 10. You guys would know that it's like this weird elongated V shape, and it's got like some divots in it. And after looking at it, inspecting the weight, it's definitely bone that's been painted blue. But you don't know of what creature, you don't know what sort of body part this goes to, but it is a piece of a bone painted blue.
As Kellic and I are looking at this, I'll kind of whisper to him to not disturb the being in front of us. What if we break it?
I don't think that would have much to do with what's going on with the curse. It feels it's supplemental to what's going on here. Also, last time we broke a magical item, you grew horns out of your head.
Fair point. Yep. Okay.
So maybe let's, and I'd say this to everybody in a sort of gesture broad, maybe let's identify things and get a good sense of what they are before we start smashing them against the ground. Right?
Okay, that's a fair idea.
But it is fun to do.
And you never really know what's going to happen. Anything could happen.
It's gonna be exciting.
Why would you simply break a magical item?
Yeah, why would we do that, Flynn?
We would never.
Why? Yeah. Kellic, so maybe we can ask him what happened? I mean, maybe...
one way or the other, Alma. We have to get to the bottom of it. So I'm open to speaking with the thing.
Yeah.
If you're going to speak to it, hold on 1 second. And Seeker would put a hand on Kalik's shoulder and just say, Na Aire Esila, and cast guidance on you.
Okay.
Hey, come down here. I'm gonna return the favor. At least try to. I haven't done this before.
I'll kneel.
And I'll reach to my side, and there's a little small pouch that it kind of hangs on my belt. I'm gonna reach in and grab some silver powder from it, and kind of rub it in my fingers. And as I do, the blue tattoo glows white, and I whistle out just like a very faint, and I hold that high note, and it starts to glow brighter and brighter. And I take my fingers and I motion to your forehead. Is it okay if I...
Make it quick, Flynn. Come on.
It's part of the spell. It's how I learned it.
I know.
Just... All right, hold still. And I'll rub my fingers and the powder across his forehead, leaving 2 silver lines. and those lines of silver powder glow with a bright white light, and I cast protection from evil and good on you.
It looks so pretty against your skin. It's really iridescent.
Silver and grey, huh?
I think it's good work. Good look for you.
All right.
Good luck.
I sort of give a cautious nod to the gang, and I will step into this room. Spirit, my name is Kellic. I'm here to relieve you of whatever foulness has befallen you and this place.
You see the ghost recognize that you're speaking to it, and it turns, and in like this abnormal glide just rotates and looks at you, and it looks right in your eyes, and you can see now on its elven face, you can see these ghostly tears coming down. It just looks at you.
And I'll say in Elvish, these battles, they're not for us to fight. We can't be pawns to this nonsense. Let me help you. Let me put you to rest.
And the ghost once again rotates back to the position that it originally was, looking out the window at the sunlight coming through, and you can see right outside of the window on this massive tree that you guys are in, there's a branch that comes out right next to the window. And you can see two little blue jays fly and land on the branch, and the ghost looks over and just watches the birds.
I will step over to it to look out the window alongside it.
Right.
And there's two blue jays.
There are two blue jays there on the branch.
These creatures, they're unperturbed by this bloodshed. So too should you be. How can I wipe your tears away?
And with a long flowing motion, it sort of gestures back over towards its body.
And the body's unconsumed by vines or anything?
Yeah, it's just charred.
And I will sort of like looking to it, like keeping eye contact with it as I kneel next to the body.
And it sort of looks at you, and it can see what you're about to do, and it comes over and it sort of kneels right next to you, and it looks in your eyes, and it shakes its head no, and it looks up, and with a ghostly wave, it raises its hand and points to Shreya.
Aye. Go where you wish. I'll not bind myself to these beasts any longer. Shreya, send this spirit to the place it longs for.
I'm going to cautiously approach, kneel down, and
This is beyond my facilitation. Transferring a being from the place in between to eternal rest. I'm out of sorts.
Have you not earthly magic, Shreya? Can you not devour it with the power of nature? Give it to the earth.
I've never tried. Perhaps there is some of nature that I can learn as the need has arisen.
And as I say that, I focus all of my energy into my forehead, which starts to glow, and a sort of eclipse goes across my forehead in the pigments of my forehead, like a moon, like eclipsing. And what can I cast on this body to help? I'm meditating, and I touch my hands to the body, and I'm struggling with words, but I these wisps of wind start to pass through where my beak is as my beak opens up wide, and just blue wind just emanates out of it, and I reach my hand through it and then bring that wind and redirect it down into the body as I cast Dispel Magic. That's what I'm going to go for.
Okay. As you cast this and your spell overtakes the body, you can see the pieces of flesh and clothing that had been singed by whatever spell had killed it begin to soften out and smooth. And it almost seems to, in a weird way, mend the clothes and heal the body. And as the spell finishes, you can see just a little bit of plant growth and vines begin to come out from where this body is laying on the stairs, out of the wood of the staircase. And at first, as the body's laying there, it first takes over and consumes the right hand as these vines interweave itself in between the body's fingers. And you look to the ghost, who at this point stands up, and they look out, looking to a figure who is not there, seemingly looking at someone who maybe is not there, reaching their hand out and sort of looking like they're reaching out and clutching someone else's hand. And then they walk off and fade into nothing.
Oh, I put my head in my hands.
I rise and sort of take a step back.
I didn't know that the inner workings of my being were capable of such profound transformation.
We transcend the battle lines, Shreya. This is a power unlike any other. Let's not forget it.
And some tears that perhaps mirrored the tears on the ghost start to come down my own face as I clutch my staff and lean on it and just sort of coo a little bit in a slight meditation and almost like a recovery from casting that spell.
I'll walk up and just, while he's meditating, just give him a pat on the knee. I don't want to say anything, but I'll just give him a pat on the knee and move forward to the path ahead.
If I look out the window, where does the sun look to be? Does it look to be, straight above us, starting to fade? What can we tell what time it is?
Yeah. So, you would be able to tell that it's probably about 3:00 in the afternoon.
Does anyone get any other, bad feelings about this place? Because, maybe we should rest here for the night? It seems like we've got a lot of, walking to do, and this has shelter.
I'm not against this. I cannot detect anything, but if I'm given some time, I can check out what remains.
Aye. There are a few more. I can't remember. Had I disposed of the remaining bodies on the first floor DM,
Oh,
or
no, we should
were
go
they
do
still
that.
around?
Yeah, all of the bodies who weren't consumed by vines on the first floor
I had
were...
dispensed of. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think it's safe, Alma. Safe enough. Safe as anywhere.
So maybe we should just stay
I mean,
here?
safe is relative. The wraith-like being did come from the floor, but I know what you're saying. Yes,
It came from above us.
or above. Yes.
It travelled around and through the floor and up, but it was originally above us, so, you know, it is relative. I concede that.
We can look out. It will be okay. We will be safe.
Maybe we should get some, some food and just stay here.
Flynn? Shreya?
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay to take a break. Are we looking to sleep here? Is that safe to sleep?
Kellic just said that he doesn't get any more senses,
they-
and all the bodies have been sent back to where they should be, and it's here or in the woods in the dark.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if he thinks it's safe, I'm okay to rest.
I will bow my head and whisper, I've chosen my truth. Will you still grant me your power? And I will Cedo Oculos and pull ashes across my eyes and try to use Eyes of the Grave again.
All right, this time your vision is completely clear. You don't sense anything.
And I look to Alma with swirling ashen eyes and say,
Oh,
yeah, I think it's safe. Best of my estimation.
then I think we should stay here. The sun is gonna go down soon, and I think it's better to have some shelter.
I mean, all right, as long as there's no more of those ghosts.
I'll keep you safe, Flynn.
Okay. And I'm looking around, just like looking around, not really paying attention, just making sure I don't see any of those ghosts. I guess that's all right. Maybe next to that window, and I'll point over to the window. Actually, wait, no. And I'm looking for a spot that's like doesn't have a body, doesn't have where there was a
Flynn's
ghost.
carrying his bedroll around the place like.
Yeah, eventually, like, the ground floor probably has the most space for you to find a
all the
non-body
corpses in it?
spot. Yeah.
Right.
Then if we're going to the ground floor, I'll go up like, next to the door and just kind of like make my bed up right next to the door. I'm gonna set up here just in case something comes up. I'll be able to open the door and we can run out.
Okay. Well, I mean, we've got time. Maybe we can go outside and find something that we can cook to eat. Will that make you feel better being outside?
Sure.
Okay.
I can ask Ylduria if she wouldn't mind hunting for some small prey,
Yeah.
some small
I
game.
would very much like to join her if she's going to go on that kind of errand.
I think she might enjoy
Yeah,
this.
you would.
Fantastic. Let's start right away.
All right, who is going outside to hunt right now?
That's
Shreya?
one for Shreya. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no.
All right.
I'll let them do it, yeah.
Okay, so for both of the birds, I'm going to have you guys make survival checks for me.
Yeah, we will. 17.
And natty. That's a natty 20. That's 2 for.
Nice.
In
Son by
one
an
sash, dude. Let's go.
Nice. So, yeah, Shreya, you are diving in and out of these trees. Are you looking for anything specific? Any specific kind of animal?
Rabbits.
Rabbits. Okay. So you are diving in and out of these trees. You see a rabbit down on the ground, and it starts to dart and run away from you, but you're matching its movements left and right, in and out of the trees, and eventually you're able to just get up on it and sink your claws into it killing it very quickly. And as you do, you see another rabbit off to your right. So you put that one in your pouch and you go and grab that one and you kill that one just the same. And as you get back to the tree to share with the rest of the party, the two rabbits, you see an owl there perched on a pile of 5 rabbits.
I wish I could say that I felt like jealousy, but I'm only impressed.
You know how birds, they like puff up all their feathers.
Plumage?
She kind of puffs up, spreads the
plumage,
wings, and says, "Well, you didn't do bad yourself. I mean, I got more, but it's not a competition, right?"
Right. And while we're at it, why don't we get right on to the business of preparing these scores?
And with that, in one sweeping motion, I just whip my staff around my head, stomp it into the earth. The purple sparks and then turn into a flame out the top as I toss the rabbits up and skewer them on a javelin, and then just immediately start roasting them above my staff.
Burn.
Shouldn't be too long.
Cool.
I can just catch them. That's. She'll like walk over and kind of like nestle on like your leg a little bit, like just kind of like rub her little owl head, rub her little owl head on your leg. Say that's a pretty neat trick.
And as she does that, the flame kind of erupts out the top of the staff a little bit more intensely as it, like, for a brief second overtakes the rabbits as I sort of and gain my footing back again.
I am not prepared for this.
What are we doing, people?
This is so great.
We should probably tell them that we got some food, huh?
Yes. Yeah, must be quite hungry. We perhaps should make our way back there first and do the noble thing and take care of our compatriots before we go any further.
Well, because, I mean, like we already said, you know, they couldn't survive without us.
Oh, no, they'd be lost without us.
All right, so the rest of you guys see coming back into the tree with a whole bunch of, at this point, cooked rabbits, 2 birds.
I have not left the top floor. I have just parked myself in front of the whatever remains of this elf's body that was being digested by these flowers and vines. And I've just set up my bedroll there, and I'm just sitting in front of it, just observing it.
Is Oma there?
I'm downstairs.
Seeker would have probably gone downstairs then and gone through his bag and got some jerky, like some squirrel jerky. That sounds good. And offered it to Oma. Here. You mentioned food. You might want some. Here. It's very good.
Thanks. Thank you. I will munch on it. And when Shreya enters, I'll look at his score. Whoa! You caught so many rabbits.
Well, the credit actually goes more toward this lovely one over here.
I sort of shrug and point over to my object of my recent affection.
Eldra, you caught so many rabbits.
She just puffs up and is proud of herself, kind of struts in.
Wow.
And while I'm feeling creative, I think I might just make these rabbits consumable to all in the most pleasurable way possible.
And as I say that, I balance the javelin on one hand and I sort of reach my talons up from as I sit down and sort of arch back into a kind of like yogic boat pose, I start picking apart like the gristly and the, hard to digest elements from the rabbit and start picking it apart and cleaning the cooked rabbit. And I close my eyes and I would like to druid craft, if you'll go with me on this one, a berry glaze. So I already know good berry. A berry glaze to just softly glide across the top of this rabbit meat.
I will allow it. With the combination of Goodberry and then using Druidcraft to sort of bring out the natural sugars within the berries, they sort of start to melt into this glaze.
What's the expression in the come and get it?
Sure. And I will grab one of the rabbits and start picking it apart.
Seeker will take one. Actually, we'll take two and head upstairs.
I'm downstairs asking Shreya all about his hunt and just listening to him talk about his flying around.
Yes, they were there and I was up and then they were down, but I went down and then they tried to hide behind a tree. But I know how to hide behind trees, and I knew exactly that they were going underneath the extra point of the vine, so
Seeker, you see Caleb sitting there up by the body.
I just walk over and sit opposite Halek and offer up one of the rabbits with the glaze. This glaze looks fantastic.
I'll regard it with a little bit of suspicion, but I'll take it.
The gods, what they want, it's not clear to any of us. It's easy to assume we know their wishes.
Well, there's documents, there's speakers, those that purport to carry their word.
Have you not ever considered that their own will may be mixed in with this?
I'm ashamed to say not until recently. But Seeker, it doesn't matter. The gods allow this to happen. Allow their will to be misappropriated, misused. And why? Why? So they can reap our souls when our lives are done. What of everything we've done here? What of the bonds we form in life? What of the families we raise and the people we love? They don't care about that, they just want what remains.
I can tell you are troubled. All that I know for certain is what is and what is here in front of me. I don't understand it. What the gods can and cannot do, cannot say. What would you have them do? Destroy all who misuse? Would that not be its own form of abomination?
Disallow it, then.
What if they can't? I don't know. I do know that I have gifts that have been given, and I can use them to do what I can do.
And I wipe my We are the agents of repair. But we're left to our own devices. And the strength it takes, the measure, for us to use our talents wisely. I only hope time's strong enough. If the gods can't be, then how can I be expected to undo all that's been done? Keep the...
You can't. But what you can do... That bunch downstairs. They follow you. They need you. They are your charge. You can't save the world, but you can save who's in front of you. You take a great weight upon your shoulders. Come, let's eat with your friends.
My eyes just hover across the body in front of us. I've seen the place where I send these spirits. I hope that they're all as lovely. I'll join you. And I cast a glance out the window and to where the spirits parted, as I sort of awkwardly stand, trying not to use the rabbit to balance myself. Thank you, Seeker.
Don't thank me. I did not do anything. I should like to hear of this place, if there's time.
I too would like to know how you got in your scars. But let's join the others. It sounds like Shreya's telling quite the tale.
Be interesting to see who's the better hunter. I think it's Eldra, but we'll see.
Luckily for us, Shreya's not the competitive type.
That is good, because Eldra is.
All right, and you guys head back downstairs, rejoin the rest of the group. Is there anything the rest of you guys would like to do?
Yeah. Once Kellic and Seeker come back down, I'll be digging through my bag. So a couple of days ago, or a day ago, I guess. Actually, wow. Lots happened. I got this thing. Does anyone know how to identify what it is? And I hold up a transparent silver potion with some sparkly bits in it, and I don't know what it is, but it looked pretty, so I got it. Can anyone tell what it is?
DM, can I
Can
tell
I
what it is?
tell what it
Yeah.
is? I like magic stuff.
You guys could make an Arcana check.
Or identify it?
17 Arcana.
7 Arcana.
Seeker, you would know, sort of by the look of it, you don't know exactly what it does, but it doesn't seem to have any negative effects. Like it's probably a mostly positive affecting potion. That's really what you get from it.
I would share that information.
Huh. I was hoping for more of it does this and this, but I guess that's good to know.
I
I
shrug.
put it away.
Seeker shrugs as well.
This whole time that they were upstairs and that Shreya was regaling us with the tale of his hunt, I've just been sitting on my bedroll, next to the door that leads this place, and I'm just looking around for ghosts. I'm feeling the ground, tapping it to see if it's hollow. I'm keeping my ears and eyes open, and I'm looking up in every dark area. And that's what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm gonna make a perception.
I'm gonna have you make either perception or investigation.
Okay. And I'm almost like not even listening to the story or paying attention to anyone else. You said perception or investigation?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's really good. 24.
24. You go around and you're sort of looking at things. You're tapping the walls. It seems pretty straightforward. There doesn't seem to be anything that you're missing here.
I'm not seeing any ghosts.
Mm-mm.
Guys, I think I'm gonna sleep outside.
Why?
What?
This place is creepy.
Yes,
Then-
but maybe less safe out there.
We're leaving the horses out there.
Yes.
You're not a horse.
Yeah,
You're
but there's...
more important.
Oh. But...
Oh, don't get a big head about it, okay? I'm just saying you're better than a horse.
But there's no ghosts out there.
There's no ghosts in here either.
Oh, that's what we thought before, and then they just showed up, and now the one that Kellic attacked disappeared, and it went into ghost. And what if it just comes from the ground again?
Flynn, we sent it.
You're a monster hunter. You
Monsters.
are a brave monster hunter. And are you scared of a couple ghosts? You're not scared of anything. You're brave.
Right.
And strong.
Yeah, and I'm a threat.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I look around again. Right. Brave. Right. I go back up next to the door and sit on my little bedroll right next to the door. Go back to my rabbit. Just looking around.
Seeker would look for over by the teapot. Was there any debris or anything that he could pick up with his mage hand and move silently across the room to drop on Flynn's head?
Yeah. There's actually these right next to the teapot that you found. There's these little porcelain teacups.
Yeah, that'll do. I'll take a teacup and move it over and drop it on Flynn's head.
Do I see this? Do I see it happen? Or
He'll try and do it sneakily.
Yeah. Make a.
I mean, I am
stealth
distracted
check.
because I'm looking in dark corridors.
It's a 10.
What do I?
Flynn, what's your passive perception?
Oh, I don't know. It's actually pretty good, I think. Passive 15. Wow.
Yeah, you see the
I see it floating.
a little floating teacup coming towards you.
Guys! I point to it. What is that?
Put it down. He'll put it once he sees it. He'll put it down, and he'll look at Flynn and say, "Flynn, it is me. Don't worry. I too am a fan of mischief and playing. However, I do not think staying outside would be the wisest. I can have Eldra stay outside in the tree and keep an eye on the horses. We can keep watching here while some sleep."
Do I overhear him saying this?
I mean, are you saying
Yeah,
it secretively,
it's open
Seeker?
for anybody.
Yeah, you hear that.
I think there have been some great points made about sleeping outside, and Eldra, your companion here says it might be well met if you roost outside tonight. And I was just thinking myself, perhaps we could catch a ravishing sunset from the top of the tree, and perhaps make our roost there tonight.
If an owl could blush, you would see it now. She will just she actually kind of hops and kind of trips a little and walks over and is like, okay, yeah.
sort of motion to the rest of the party and kind of nod and say, we'll see you all later, I suppose.
I look at Shia just like he's from another universe. Just like completely bewildered. Yeah, sounds good, Shia. You'll be safe out there.
I am actually more confused now. I thought we were going to stay. And
Yeah, I mean, apparently it's fine to sleep outside now, I guess.
No. We're gonna stay inside.
Shia's gonna take first watch with Eldra.
Oh,
And
okay.
and watch the sunset. Right?
It'll be a different
Nothing-
kind of watch.
Do you need help watching out there, like to watch the horses? Or
Oh, no. We're very well
you sure?
capable ourselves, yes.
Apparently, it's really dangerous out there. I mean, I could.
Oh, that's
you know.
quite all right, Flynn. I think we can handle it.
All right. Well, if you need anything, yell or whatever.
But if you do hear any commotion, I wouldn't come running if I were you.
What if you're hurt?
Yeah.
I don't think we'll be hurting tonight.
I wipe the silver dust off of my head. I'm going to bed. I'm not working with this.
So with that, I think we're gonna get these watches started.
Fair enough.
All right. First watch. Let's just get this out of the way. Shreya and Eldra, I'm gonna have you both make perception checks at disadvantage.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
does it cancel to regular advantage or just regular roll?
Should they just both roll
Yeah,
once?
so it would just be
Or just
straight roll
one
for Eldra.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a 19.
I mean, that's a 5 for me.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Shreya's a little bit more distracted. Eldra, over the course of the first watch, doesn't spot anything.
Because Eldra is playing a little coy. It's kind of like the mating dance thing. She's kind of doing her little thing, but still, looking out. She's got people to
Awesome.
take care of.
Yeah,
I mean,
good for her.
Ladies.
Next watch.
That makes sense.
Who's going up next?
Moving on.
Moving on.
I'll
Fade to
go.
black. Moving on.
I think I would probably not be sleeping or having trouble falling asleep, so I'll probably just be up, looking around.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll probably would be leaned up against the wall next to the door and just not sleeping, kind of like looking around.
Okay. So would you want to be a part of the second watch?
Sure.
Okay.
And what is that, perception?
Yeah. Is anyone else going up with him, or
No, I'm
Oma
gonna
and
go
Kalek, are
do
you guys
third
taking?
watch.
Okay.
I'll
okay.
join
so
him for a second.
Okay.
I was mostly going to bed initially to avoid talking about Shreya any longer. So.
Yeah. No. Understandable.
So I'll wake up.
Yeah. So
with-
Kalek and Flynn,
restlessness.
perception checks.
I got a 13.
13, okay.
I got a 19.
Okay. You guys are sitting there. You hear a quiet breeze roll through the trees. You hear some birds chirping every once in a while, just very faintly off in the distance. That's it. You guys don't hear anything or see anything that would be determined as a threat.
So you're sure you're not gonna come out from the ground again?
I mean, nothing's out of the question, Flynn, but we've cleansed this place of the restless spirits within, so it's not a curse like a lingering curse. It's like individuals,
Right.
those that stayed behind because their god couldn't take them.
Okay, so it's not the place, it was, and I point to one of the charred bodies or areas where they are. Like what those? They were linked to the bodies.
I've relinquished those that I could, and the remainder seem to be on their way to Elduria's. I don't know where she takes them, but
I guess that helps a little bit.
Speaking of curses, Flynn.
Yeah.
Next time we're in a city that we haven't, done crimes, we should take you somewhere that they can see to your horns. I don't really trust any of the temples, but they contain those that have powers, access to the gods, and they might be able to expel this creature that's taken residence in your small frame.
Thanks, but no offense. From my experience these past few days, it doesn't seem like the gods are such a good thing.
I have to agree with you, Flynn. It's unclear to me. I think that the gods are maybe as prone to mistakes as Alma when she's on a tear, More power you have, the greater trouble you can make when you mess up.
Right, but aren't they supposed to be like the good ones? The ones that don't make mistakes? Or the ones that... I don't know. I mean, I thought at least the old gods were like that, but... And the new ones were the bad ones, but... I mean, hearing what you said about... Was it a... Kaji? Is that what it was? Is that what you were?
Yeah. Kaji.
And that whole thing about turning people away and making them answer impossible questions, and do the gods even help anyone?
Well, if we look at the raw facts in front of us, right? There were spirits here. They were unholy things. Things that sought to harm others just by existing, right? If we'd allowed them, they would have taken our lives and probably put us in a similar state of undeath. Which is, as I understand it, a painful thing to exist in that cross between planes. And Saker and I, and Shreya even, we were all able to use the magic bestowed upon us through the gods to relieve them of this pain, to take them somewhere where they could be at peace, sleep. That's a good thing. These things are so rare, these things that we know are good. So, that being as it is, the God's power can be wielded for good. And to that extent, we must try. That's all I can make of it. We must be the agents of goodness, with the power that exists, however limited it is. And so, to that end, we know the creature that's whose horns you've adopted is probably not a good creature. Is probably bent on some form of destruction, madness. And so to expel it would be a good application of the god's power, whether or not the source of it is inherently good or bad.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Does it?
Much as it can.
I'm trying.
But whenever we get to a city, we can check it out. See how it looks. I don't know. Maybe they'll go away. I feel like they might be a little bit smaller. Maybe they're just going away on their own. And I like reach up and touch my horns.
I'll
I
look
swear
at
they were bigger than this.
Flynn's horns. Do they look any smaller?
They do not.
How is it, Flynn? Do you feel...
Honestly, I feel fine. Like, it's just, I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, we don't even need to get rid of them, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I'm like, kind of like lean back my head and close my eyes. Anyway. Are you staying here?
I am.
Alright. Good. Make sure those ghosts don't come back.
You want to be charged, Flynn? Doing this lot?
I nod off to sleep.
And I'll just watch it, Flynn. Eventually close my eyes.
Okay. All right, Olma, we're up for the final watch. What would you like to do? You're up by yourself.
Seeker be up. I think Seeker might get up.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry, I
It's all good.
counted you as Eldra. That's my bad.
I got 2 rolls.
2 rolls. Okay, Seeker and Olma, can I have you guys roll perception for me?
17 for Alma.
15.
Okay. Very peaceful night. You guys do not see or hear anything that would constitute a threat.
Can Alma see the tattoos on your arms?
Yeah, I think, his sleeves will be up.
What do those markings mean?
This, he holds his left arm up. And you see the sigil of Laris, crescent, like a half semicircle, and then a straight line underneath it. And he's just kind of tracing it. And he says, "This is the sigil of Laris. Kind of a legacy of my family. An old god. One that I looked up to. I wanted to be in service of. In fact, it's why I can do some of what I can do. But he like actually seems a little like very uncomfortable. He's just I saw things in the service to Lars that didn't match. I saw atrocities. Things similar to this done in the name of a god. But I don't know if it was because of the god or the people or both. It is very confusing.
Yeah, sometimes people can be pretty bad when they're fighting for something they believe in.
This is true.
What does Loris do?
And it will you'll just sit and concentrate for a moment, and the sigil will start to glow purple, and it'll just kind of conjure a little bit of sacred flame, and then he will cup his hands over his mouth and say, "Can you hear this?" and cast message, so only she can hear it in her head. And then he will just say, "Loris is about magic and bestowing all of the lands with magic and magical abilities."
Wow, that doesn't seem so bad.
Right. Yeah, no, you're right. It's not. It's good when the right people have it for the right reasons.
Oh. Yeah, and I look down at my hands. Magic can be pretty bad if bad people are using it.
I'm still trying to figure out exactly what that means. I mean, yes, on the surface, but what is good? What is bad? Would he pick up that you were looking, like, observing your hand as you said that?
Yeah, I wasn't hiding it. So, yes.
Oh, you did the thing with the sword, right?
I made magic, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You are also somehow gifted, but different. You don't know the gods.
No, I'm trying to learn about them, but we never studied the gods, ever.
Who is we?
Well, I mean, I grew up in the mountains, and not this mountain, obviously, but a different mountain, and they talked all about being strong, but not being strong with magic, being strong with your spirit, and gathering your spirit inside of you and using that to fight and to do good. But we didn't talk about that being from the gods, and then mine was different from them too. So they kicked me out because my magic doesn't come from my spirit. I don't think. It didn't manifest the way theirs did, and they were not happy. So I left. But I didn't have anyone to teach me how to control it. And I didn't have a god that I could go to or talk to. And so I found Xavier, and Xavier was helping. He was trying to help me learn how to control it and use my magic good. But then they took him, so I was on my own again, and I don't have a lot of control. It's been good though. It's been much better. I don't know. Sometimes, before I came here, it was really bad, and I was just like losing control all over the place. But since I've been with Kellic and Flynn and Shreya, I've been able to keep control of it. It's been really good. It used to be every time I did a spell, something bad would happen. But now...
But that is not good.
Yeah, but now it's better. So maybe they're helping me control just by being around them. Having friends.
Maybe the problem is not accepting those different than us. They exiled you when maybe what they know could help you control this. You're not the problem, but those who cannot accept what they do not understand. And that is what we do very good as humans. We run from that which we don't understand because it scares us.
Yeah, I definitely scared them.
You're not scary. You're the little one.
Yeah? I'm a little scared.
It is okay to be scared. If you were in this tree after what we just saw, you weren't scared, I would be scared of you.
No, I mean I'm scared of me.
He will put his hands out, like as you're like looking in your hands, he'll put his hands out and kind of gesture to have you put yours in his if you so decide.
I will.
Don't fear what you have. It has taken me many years and much study to control the little bit that I have. maybe you just haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah. I'll keep trying, though.
And with that, he'll just whisper a little incantation, kind of muttering it so it's not really intelligible, and say, we should finish this watch and arrest. Get everybody up so we can continue.
Okay.
All right, and with that, the morning sunrise begins to crest over the horizon. The interior of this tree begins to illuminate with the light of the new day. And with that, you guys are free to leave and set out on your horses. Is there anything you guys want to do or take before you guys actually leave this place? If not, then you guys...
Long rest complete.
Long rest completed. Yes.
Nice.
Woo!
I wanted to celebrate. I just wanted as saddling up, Seeker will go over to Alma, magic and light, and just put his hands on her head, and there'll be a faint purple glow, and he will cast the Blessing of the Vigilant, so that next time we're in battle, you get advantage on initiative roll.
Yay!
This will help you get the jump in case something happens. You don't have to be afraid.
Thank you.
Saker, you still have that necklace you pulled from the corpse upstairs?
Yes. They pull it out.
And who's holding on to the head of our old pal, our old robot friend?
Usually I have him, yeah. So I probably either had him next to the... Yeah.
Actually, Seeker won't pull it out. He will use his invisible mage hand to let it float.
I don't recognize this trinket, but Thaddeus has been around the block a bit, so I think it's worth it to ask him.
Yes. It was giving off a lot of magic.
Yeah, and it was on the body of that remaining spirit, so it tracks that person might have been a person of note at this temple. I'd be keen to know what they were carrying around. So maybe we should leave it here, even. Do you mind waking him up then?
Oh, yeah, sure. And I'll bend down and do the little thing and boop, boop, boop. Turn him on for 10 minutes.
Okay. And his eyes glow purple. Oh, hello.
Hi, I think Kellic said you can do something to look at something. And I'll turn the head towards Kellic.
Good morning, Thaddeus.
Good morning.
It's a bit of a stretch, but do you happen to know of what this trinket is, or maybe I don't know what you're capable of, and that I don't know, designed brain of yours?
Yeah. No, I could find out for you. Yeah, just show me. Can you pull it up?
I'll give a nod to Seeker.
Yeah, Seeker will mage hand it over.
Oh, I don't know off the top of my head, but if you give me a minute, just give me one moment. And the purple fades from his eyes, and in their place, this golden light comes up, and he remains silent for about a minute. And he pops back up, and the gold recedes from his eyes. The purple comes back, and he says, "Okay, so this appears to be a piece of a very small dragon jaw. It seems to be one of three. It looks like, and you can see right there, you can see where it's been broken off." And so, yeah, it looks like a piece one of three. And typically when you have all three in there together, you can wear this and sort of have a small effect of a dragon's breath, if you might choose. And I would assume by the coloration of the blue, probably be some sort of lightning effect. That would be my best guess. If you're able to come into contact with the other two pieces, then this might be a working item for you.
Where are you getting this information?
Amazing.
I really don't know. It's it's like sort of stored way back, like in my mind somewhere. But I just I can reach back and sort of access, a lot of information.
I just stoop real low to where Flynn's holding Thaddeus' head and just try and get my head level with Thaddeus' head and just look into his eyeballs to try and see into his mind. Fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Do you know, is this a trinket that to be worn by clergy, or is it just happenstance that it ended up here?
Looks just like a cool. I don't know any religious significance to it. Someone wearing this, it could have been like a local symbol of power, possibly, a local symbol of status. But I don't know any specific religious connotation with it.
Thank you, Thaddeus.
You're welcome.
When they seem done, a light bulb goes off in my head. Oh, and I'll take Thaddeus' head that I'm holding and I'll try and flip it backwards so his face is facing me, but upside down. And I'll... Hey, can you do that again?
Hi. Yes, I can. Can you flip me the right way?
Oh, sure. And I'll flip him back around and I'll put him down on the ground and spin him towards me. Seeker, do you have that teapot?
Yes. Moment. No. He will have his mage hand fiddle around in the bag and pull it out.
That is so cool. And I'll
it
hold my
floats
hands
over
out
in front of you. With,
I
drop
can.
it in the hand.
Just give me one more moment.
Yeah, take your
And
time.
the purple recedes. The gold comes back into his eyes.
I am obsessively trying to watch this process, just trying to understand.
As you're watching, you sort of hear the gears clicking within his head. And then after a minute, the gold recedes back, the purple comes back in. And he says, "Oh."
While he was doing that and doing that for a minute, and Kellic seems like he's watching it. Yeah, I know. I think I know what he's doing. I think my dad did this.
Your dad had a brain in the back of his brain that he could search for information.
He has a way to figure out what something is. And it's probably, I don't think he's got a metal brain, but it's something that he would do at the shop.
I somehow feel that these are probably different practices.
Maybe.
Unless it's your dad's brain inside of the head of the...
No knock on it. Dad?
Father! And he pops back in. This is a very interesting object. Flynn, could you back away from my face, please? Thank you.
I get really close.
This object is pretty interesting. If you were to make tea in this little teapot, and then drink that tea, it would allow you to sort of innately decompose things. You could probably innately cast the spell Gentle Repose.
If you drink tea from this teapot.
Yeah, it would allow you to, for one time, sort of decompose a body or encourage some sort of growth onto it.
Fascinating. Wondrous items we have found.
Thanks, Thaddeus.
You're very welcome. And I was actually just thinking about it, and if you guys...
Aw, he always does that.
It's like he knows he's about to power down.
I think he does.
He just likes the attention.
Well, and I pick him up and put him under my arm.
All right.
Let's get to it.
And with that, with Thaddeus underneath Flynn's arm, you guys hop back on the horses and set your sights up the mountain. And with that, we were going to end today's session.
Yeah.
We're going to call it right there with a couple of identified new items under your belt.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that, we're going to call it right there. Thank you all so much for listening, and we can't wait to see you all again next week. Bye, nerds.
Bye, nerds.
Bye, nerds.
Bye, nerds.
Hey, it's Shane. Thanks so much for listening to that episode of Venture Forth. We really, really appreciate it. If you're enjoying the show, check us out on social media. We're everywhere as Venture Forth DND. We're also on Patreon if you have the means to support us on there. That does help us to maintain the podcast and improve the podcast. We put a whole lot of work into this thing, and we'd like to put in even more. So that goes directly toward that end. Whatever your ability to contribute, though, we are happy to have you here. So thanks so much, and have a great day.